Lonnie Talk Show. Thank you so much for joining. Today is show number 174, live from LA, Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. Boy, boy, boy. Every time I mention the show number, I'm just taken aback, right? Because it doesn't seem like it's been that many shows, right? It doesn't seem like it's been this many years. Started January of 2019 with my first show on LA Talk Radio, which was an internet radio station, and did 90 shows with them, and then said, you know what, I'm gonna do this on my own. And from 91 to where I am now, did those shows, produced those shows by myself or on my own, and it's been rewarding. So there you go. So that's kind of my journey. But you guys didn't want to hear that, right? You don't want to hear about the journey, right? You just want to hear about what's going on now. No, I'm joking. But it's been good. It's been a good journey, and I think everybody that has been rolling with me since then, that's been supporting me, that still listen, that still watch. And remember, this is not just you can see me. It's a talk show, hospitality talk show, but it is a podcast as well. So as I'm recording, as you see me on the video portion, the audio is being recorded. And then after the show's over, I upload that onto my podcast platforms. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, if you don't want to see me, you just want to hear me, you can definitely do that too. So wherever you find your favorite podcast, you can find On Air with Russell of Hotels. We're live here on YouTube, so please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. The replay will be on LinkedIn, as well as Facebook, as well as Twitter, and did I say Facebook? And LinkedIn. Did I say that? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Wherever your favorite, where you listen or watch things, whatever platform, social media platform, we're going to be there too. So, but yeah, so there you go. So thank you for the people that just listen. They don't want to see what I, look like and all that stuff. And they're just like, you know what? I just want to hear what the dude got to say. Okay. I hear he has stuff to say. We'll whatever. We'll roll with that. We don't want to see him. But anyway, thank you so much, the people that are joining. I welcome feedback. I welcome interaction. So please feel free to say something, chime in, make your comments. Let me know that you're there, because at the very least, I'm going to mention your name, and then we go from there. So, but no, I do welcome all that interaction kind of stuff. So I'm here for all that. You have questions, please feel free to ask the questions, because I'm here to answer. If I can't answer, I get the answers for you somehow, right? So there you go. So real quick, thank you. I got a couple people to thank. I got to thank Miss Chef Tasha Jackson. I was on her show. She has it hasn't come out yet, so she's developing, or she has a couple shows in the can. That's Hollywood talk, right? That means that she has shows that she's already completed. It just hasn't been released yet. So she has not given me the release date, but I think I was the third or fourth one that she interviewed for her new show called Hospitality Hacks, as you can see right there on my right, or maybe your left. But yeah, so she's doing a podcast. She has a lot of information, a lot of stuff to share. She invited me on, and we had a great time. So I do appreciate Chef Jackson for having me on there. So Hospitality Hacks Podcast. Please follow her on Instagram as well, because she has a lot of good information. She does lives as well, with just great information. Lonnie Wolf in the house strong. I appreciate you, Lonnie. Dylan, may we have a return visit from Lonnie scheduled? Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Lonnie, let me know when you're ready to come back on, and we can do it. And then real quick, I want to thank Craig Sullivan and Greg Haussman. They invited me to come on this Friday to their show. It's called Friday Night Audit. It's going to be September 9th. I don't know the platform. I know the platform replays on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's live on YouTube or not, or maybe I think it's on LinkedIn. Theirs may be live on LinkedIn with the replay on YouTube. But I'll let you know as we get close. I don't have the link yet, but I talked to Craig a couple of weeks ago. Now, for people that don't know, Craig is kind of the reason I got into this whole podcast game, because he actually invited me on his show, Check Out California, about 3 years ago, right? Well, I think it was 2018. 2018, he invited me on his show, and that's where I came up with the idea. As I'm driving home after the show, I'm like, you know what? I could do this. I think I got some stuff to add as well. So that's how I came up with the show, because I was a guest. The Craig Show, Check Out California, that was the first podcast I had ever been on. And I kind of liked it. I'm like, okay. So I called him and asked him, say, what do you think if I did my own show? And he said, I think it'll be great. He said, I think you have a lot to offer, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, I'm going to take it and run with it. Since, Craig gave me the thumbs up. And then Glenn Haussman, I've been watching or following him forever on his show, his podcast, which is the #1 hospitality podcast in the world. I'm just happy to be in the top 30. Okay. Glenn is like #1. Okay. So, and just to be offered to be on their show in their presence, that's great for me. So, hey, I'm cool with that. So thank you guys so much for inviting me on. And I can't, wait till Friday comes. I think I got to be on at like 1 o'clock. It said be available like from 1 to like 3:30. I'm like, we're going to talk that long? Is the show that long? I'm like, an hour, yeah, but like 2 hours? I don't know. But anyway, whatever it is, I'm here for it. No, I'm just being funny, just in case Craig and Glenn are listening or watching. But no, I look forward to it. So thank you so much. Friday Night Audit is a lot of fun. You got this, Russell. Thank you so much. Yeah, he told me to. He asked me what's my favorite drink and send me some funny photos. I thought I don't have any funny photos, so I sent him what I had. And I'm a beer drinker. I'm kind of down to earth when it comes to that. But do I need to come up with a drink? I don't know. I can, I can do that, but I'm more of a beer drinker. And but we're gonna see. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I'm looking forward to it. So thanks again, Chef Tasha Jackson, for inviting me on Hospitality Hacks, which was like last week, and I'll let you guys know when that episode airs. And then thank you to Craig and Glenn Haussman. Friday Night Audit, I'll be on there. Looking forward to it this Friday, September 9th. And there you go. So appreciate you guys. Next. Oh, you know what? I didn't even have that on there. I didn't even have this on my agenda, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Hey, remember I talked about last week? If you guys watched my show last week, I talked about booking direct. Make sure you book direct, and then there's two things you have to know when you book direct. You're booking online on, say, a major brand website, and it's going to give you two options: advanced purchase rate and a flexible rate. The advanced purchase rate is always going to be the cheapest one, right? So you're gonna gravitate towards that one. You're like, oh, well, that's cheaper. That's like $10 cheaper. Well, make sure you know what comes with that advanced purchase rate. Okay, don't just be clicking, and without knowing, everything that comes with it. Okay, so make sure you know what comes with it, and then the flexible rate is going to be to me, that's the best rate, and that's what I always click, because it gives me that flexibility to cancel within 48 hours of your reservation. Okay, so like I said, if I'm making a reservation today and I'm not due to check into that hotel until December, if you're booking the advanced purchase rate, I got to pay today. When I click it, I'm paying. Okay, but the flexible rate, I don't have to pay until I actually check in, right? And then I have up until 48 hours before I'm supposed to check in to cancel. So flexible rate allows you to cancel without being penalized. Advanced purchase rate, meaning you're paying already, and they're not going to give you your money back. Okay, so there you go. So make sure you know the difference between those things. Let me move these out of the way. That's one good thing about here. I can just click and move this stuff out of the way. Flexible rate, boop, you're gone. Industry stuff. Okay. So I didn't have any industry stuff, meaning stuff that that's going on in the industry, but this came up. This was more of a professional or personal thing that affected me this morning. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys know or knew that I had this group that was going to Detroit over the weekend, right? So I had planned this group for a client of mine. I don't know, it's been probably 6 months. Well, the date was, it was Labor Day weekend. So they went to Detroit, and they went to Detroit on Thursday and then checked out on last night or yesterday, and they flew back home. And this morning I text my client and say, "Hey, how did it go?" She goes, "Detroit was great. They had a great time, and the destination was great." Okay, Detroit was great. It did everything they thought it would do. They got to see a lot of different things. They experienced a lot of different things. So the experience in Detroit was great. I said, "Hey, what about the hotel?" Well, the hotel was not great. Okay, we'll just say that. I did a live earlier and I talked a little bit about it, but it was not great. They checked in, and the rooms, several rooms that they had checked into, they had 15 rooms. Okay, 15 rooms for was it 3 nights? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 nights. Okay, so three out of the 15 rooms were dirty. Okay, when they checked in, they had visible stains when they checked in on the bed. Okay, she sent me photos of this. Okay, which is not good. Okay, and it took them a while to replace those rooms. Right now, I'm not going to tell you the name of the hotel, but I will tell you this: this is a 1,300 room hotel in Detroit. Okay, and even on the third try, I mean, they had to go to 3 different other rooms to find one that was okay. And I'm not going to say, and she said it wasn't overly clean. It was just okay, but it was better than the first one. They went through 3 rooms to find this. Okay. Now just think about this. That's a 1,300 room hotel. You got to keep going back down to the lobby level, go back to the front desk. I've been to this hotel before. Okay. I was there about a month ago, and it is not easy to get around. Okay. It is not a quick shot down the elevator. No, you have to walk. It's probably about a half a mile if you really think about it. It's a great distance. Okay. So if you're inconvenienced, you're going to be inconvenienced even more because of the distance that it takes from your room to the elevator, down the elevator shaft, down to the front desk. Because like I said, I've been to this hotel before, and it's a monster. It's a beast. It's a, they talk about big box hotel. This is a big box convention style type hotel. Okay. So make a long story short, my client is not happy. Okay. Needless to say, she's not happy. Not happy with the, checking in. Okay. You check in one time to room is dirty. Okay. All right. No harm, no foul. Give me one. Next room should be clean. Okay. But she went through 3 rooms to get to the one that she thought was okay. And it wasn't like something, it was just like, it wasn't like the best room, but it was better than the first room. Okay. So then some other things happened along the way. She also had some issues with billing. I planned this group for her, right? So, so what happens when you get to the contract stage, you basically let the hotel know that, okay, this is a group, but we will supply a rooming list, but all the attendees are on their own, meaning to pay, they pay for the room tax and incidental. So they're paying for everything. Okay. My client was not paying for everything. My client was paying for her room, and that's it. Right. And this was noted in the contract, signed, sealed, delivered, done. Okay. Well, she tells me that she was charged $7,000. And I'm like, this is crazy. So, so they charge her for those rooms. Although the people were on their own, they found out that they're on their own, but why did they charge her the $7,000 in the first place? So that, to me, it's a cleanliness issue. Now there's an operational issue or a communication issue, okay, between whoever the convention services person to the billing to the front desk. I mean, there's several people that are involved in this, okay? So that's a communication issue. They did quickly rectify the situation, but she had to call them. It wasn't like they found out they made a mistake. No, she had to call them on the mistake, right? So there's a couple other things that happened too, but definitely not acceptable on any level that you look at. Let's start with the cleanliness. Cleanliness should not be an issue. And remember this: as we move forward after the pandemic, hotels are not cleaning your rooms after you've checked in. Okay, so meaning the room should be clean before you checked in, right? Because they're not going to clean it again. They're going to offer you towels, and there's several things that they will offer during your stay. But coming in and changing your bedding is not one of them. They may empty your trash. They may give you more towels. They may do that, but they are not. Most hotels these days are not coming in and cleaning your room. Okay, they're not changing your bedding. They're not doing any of that. Room should always be clean before you checked in. Yes, they should be. So whose fault is that? Is that it's the housekeeper's fault for not cleaning, but what about the supervisors? Aren't they, or the inspectresses, or the people that inspect the rooms? What happened to those people? I mean, there should be, it's a check and balance. There should be 2 or 3 people that would check that room after it's been cleaned to make sure it's been thoroughly cleaned. Make sure there's no stains on the bedspread or things like that. So these are things that my client experienced, and she's not happy. She said she'll never come back to that hotel again. And I'm like, I can't say I blame you. Okay, so out of 15 rooms, 3 of those rooms had issues. Okay, 3 of her clients or 3 of her guests had issues. So that is never acceptable. So Dylan says room checking is essential and important. Lonnie says absolutely, Dylan. Never seen a room until it has been. Yes. Never sell a room until it's been inspected. Yes, exactly. So I don't know what their protocol is on cleaning or inspecting rooms. I don't know, but it definitely, somebody dropped the ball. My client is not happy. I'm not happy. So, we got to move forward on this because we got to make sure this is right. We got to make things right. So now we're moving into a different stage, right, of trying to get this guest satisfied or at least happy with the outcome, whatever the hotel is going to do for her. So, but, that's one of those wait and see. We talked about this morning, and I mentioned, well, hey, all else fails, ask for, some points, ask for extra points, right? And I'm talking about I'm talking about the reward points, whatever, this hotel happens to have. It is a nationally known hotel. And they have a huge point, program. So probably one of the bigger ones in the world. But anyway, so we're going to go that. And I gave her some insight on that. So, hopefully, she gets what she's looking for and we can move forward with that. But needless to say, she said she will not go back to the hotel, and I cannot blame her for that. So there you go. So that's my industry stuff. So let's just make sure, hotels that haven't been listening or watching, let's make sure that, we're inspecting our rooms. We're taking care of the guests because we want the guests to come back. You don't want the guests to leave to tell other people, right? Next thing you know, somebody's on a radio talk show talking about it. You know what I mean? Although I'm not mentioning the name, it's a hotel that I've stayed in before. I was just in Detroit about a month ago, and it's funny, this same hotel, some people had issues with this hotel before. Okay, so it didn't really, I didn't tell my client this, but I was not overly surprised based on the feedback that I got when I was staying at this same hotel. My room was fine, okay, but I can see that there were some challenges throughout the hotel. Okay, so Lonnie says, here's the deal. Many directors or supervisors have no idea on the cleanliness SOPs and train others who have no idea as well. So common. I see this so often. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, that it's a common thing that's happening. Wow. Yeah, and Lonnie knows. Lonnie's in the thick of it. Do you think you'd recommend the hotel again, or would you need to speak to them about the client experience first? Would I recommend the hotel? Well, I will tell you this. Had I stayed before we booked this, it wouldn't have been on the list of hotels that I would recommend for her to stay. Because what I do, and for people that don't know, I source hotels for clients, okay? And I sourced this hotel for clients, but it was not just this one, it was multiple hotels. So my job is to find a suitable hotel for my groups. Okay, with this one, they needed to be downtown, and of course, they were looking for they didn't want the cheapest rate, but they didn't want the most expensive rate either. So this was a kind of in the middle. It was a larger hotel, which I did tell them. I said, hey, then this is a convention style hotel. So a group of 15 will be, they get eaten up in a hotel that size. So, and just be mindful of that. But it worked. It made sense for them. So okay. So we went ahead and booked it. And now what I recommended moving forward, knowing what I know now, they would have to have some major things happen. One, although, and I mentioned this on my live earlier, I don't have problems with an old hotel that's clean. Okay, and this is an older hotel. Okay, so if it's an older hotel but it's clean, I'm good. Okay, but if it's an older hotel that's dirty, I have issues. Okay, so knowing what I know now about the hotel, and this is like I said prior to the comments that I got from my client. Like I said, I stayed there for 2 days back a month ago, and just knowing what I know now, unless they're in the middle of doing some major renovation or retraining their people, and I would need to know all this stuff, right? I need to know what's going on. So depending on what the type of group is, the size of the group, I would have some reservations about of rebooking that hotel or referring that hotel to somebody, to another client. So hope that answers your question, Dylan, which is a great question. I appreciate that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I got to make sure my client is happy, right? And if I know that, say I have another client that's come and they want to go to the same destination. Now I know that I'm not even going to put that one on my list. And if it comes up, then I'll have to let my client know, say, hey, you don't want to do this one because I actually had a group that stayed at this hotel and this is what happened. So there you go. But there's a lot of good things about the hotel, but obviously the rooms and cleanliness and all that stuff and the billing part and for groups is there's some flaws there that need to be corrected. But those things, you always want to make sure you let them know what's going on. So my sales contact, once I gather all the information from my client, I'm going to present this because she's doing the things on the operational end on her own, right? She don't need me for that. But I have to let my sales contact know what has happened, what has transpired, what issues my client had, with the stay. So they will know on both ends. They will know operationally, and they will know through the sales department how things went during my client's stay. So, but never be afraid for people that are on the end where I am, where they're the guest. Never be afraid to voice your concern about some things. Is there a way to complain? Yeah, of course. Is there a right or wrong way to complain? I mean, that's up to you. However you deal with things. But I'll tell you, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's one thing. And you can get more. You can attract more bees with honey than you can with vinegar, or what they say. Or I always say you can attract more whatever. Don't give them a bunch of crap is what it comes down to. Just this is what it is. This is what's going on. I'm not happy with it. What are you going to do for me? What can you do for me? I need you to make this right. You need to ask your contact, what can they do to make this right for the client or for you? So don't be afraid to complain about, especially if something's wrong. I mean, you got photos, you can have them come up. Hey, come look at my room. Would you want to check into this room? Would you be happy with this? And those are things that I would do. Okay. So, but don't just check out and just, brush it under the bed, so to speak, and don't complain, because people should be open to feedback. When you check out, you're like, hey, I didn't have, how was your stay, Mr. Edmond? Well, if they ask me that means they really want to know, right? Well, I wasn't happy with this. I wasn't happy with that. Oh my God, what can we do to make sure we want you back? What can we do to ensure that you'll come back? Well, then that opens up something else. So, but a lot of hotels these days won't do that. But you have to voice your concern anyway. Okay, voice your concern. If the person at the front desk doesn't want to hear it, then hey, can I talk to your manager, because it's something that I need to express to them, to him or her. Okay, so never be afraid. Not that you're always looking for something, But you just want people to know that this did happen, because quite frankly, you don't want it to happen to someone else that's coming in. Okay, so there you go. You may have made up your mind that I'm never going to come back here again, but you want to ensure that that next guest that checks into your room doesn't have the same experience that you do. At least that's how I look at it from my perspective, because I've been in this industry for a long time. And yeah, are we perfect? No, 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 no. I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of hospitality. Well, this is some ugly. Okay, Lonnie can attest to this. Dylan can attest to this. There is some ugly, but we need to address the ugliness. Okay, and not cleaning rooms is. Can you get any more uglier than that? I don't know. But those are things that are coming up more often than not. Okay, so we need to address this, and we need to move forward with it. So there you go. There you go. I think I beat that one to death. Beat that horse. Let's move on. So what's next? These are three things that I always mention every week. Be intentional. Dylan says no problem improves on its own without no problem improves on its own without being addressed. You are correct. Thank you so much, Dylan, for saying that. So yeah, if you don't address it, they don't know they have a problem. They think everything's fine. Oh, everything's fine until you go home and you get that guest survey and you start blasting people like, what? Well, what happened? Wait a minute. They didn't say anything here. No, because people will wait until they get home, and then they really have time to think, and then they got that keyboard in front of them, and then they just go wild. Okay, but that's when you come to the front desk to check out, you want to make sure your front desk people, whatever you want to call them, that they're going to ask that question. How was your stay? Hey, how was your experience here? I mean, one thing that I used to do, and I mentioned this before, and it's not about me, right? But I'm going to mention it anyway. I used to, we call it lobby lizard or whatever. I used to get on the elevators, okay, as a manager, director, whatever. I used to get on the elevators, ride the elevator up and ride the elevator down. And as guests got into the elevator, I would ask them, hey, how was your stay? And they see that I work for the hotel because I have a name tag. And, how was your stay? Oh, it was great. Thank you so much. This is my first time here, blah, blah, blah. You think you would come back? Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I'm Russell. Here's my card. If you have any questions at all, you want to rebook, let me know. And, they move on about their business. But then there's sometimes when, hey, how was your stay? Oh, my God. Well, where do you have a list? You have you got paper and pen? Because I have a list of things. And then you have to own that responsibility. Once they start complaining, you own it, right? That's what you do as a manager, director, or whatever, right? I own it because I asked them, okay? I wanted to know. So I'm writing all this stuff down, and my job is to give it to the departments that it affects, right? Because I asked the question, right? Well, what can I do? What can we do to take care of it? Because one thing you want to stop, if you can stop them from getting home and getting that filling out that survey, if you can stop them from, maybe you change their experience, at least you're going to take care of it. And I'll walk them down to the front office and say, hey, Mr. Smith had this issue. Can we take care of something for Mr. Smith? And if you can take care of it before they leave, when they get that survey, then it's not going to be the same outcome. Okay. I'm just saying, I've seen it, I've done it, I've lived it, but it takes some initiative on the behalf of a manager or director. I mean, you have to want to take on that responsibility. And sometimes some departments don't want to take that responsibility on from another department. Okay, like I said, I'm a director of sales and marketing, and I'm riding the elevator. Okay, so I'm taking on whatever responsibility they're giving me, whatever issues, I have to handle those issues. So, and that's it. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So don't be a manager then if you don't want to do it. So anyway, let me stop. That was somebody else in there. I didn't say that. Dylan says you don't want to let the guests leave unheard. Yes. Once that drive home begins, there's a lot of room and time to commiserate and let the negative feelings fester. Oh my God. You said a mouthful right there, Dylan. And then Lonnie says, in the last 90 days, I have seen over 700 beyond filthy guest rooms. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we definitely got to get you back on the show. because there's some things that need to be addressed, and I don't think we're being serious about this stuff. I really don't. And it could be, I mean, a lot of it we can blame on, okay, COVID, people not coming back to work. But what about SOPs? Regardless if these are new people or old people, there are standard operating procedures. Lonnie, kind of mentioned this earlier. It doesn't matter if these are new people or old people that are working with us, right? Former employees or current employees. Okay, that's what I mean. It doesn't matter. There's still SOPs. There's still guidelines that we had to abide by, right? They're still responsible for cleaning rooms. Okay, so and supervisors or whoever are responsible for checking those rooms and making sure they pass the test, okay, before they are sold. So I don't know who. I'm not giving a pass, okay? I'm not giving a pass. But anyway, so these are three things. How did I get on that? But anyway, these are three things that I always mention every week. Be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Just like, owning, being responsible for, a guest complaining to you. Once he or she complains, you own that problem, okay? So be intentional with that. Go out there and be intentional. Be upfront and forward with people. Like, hey, I'm Russell. I'm the director of sales and marketing. Hey, how was your stay? And then like if they, we always want the good stuff. Oh, this was great. Oh yeah, no, but no one wants to deal with the bad stuff. Oh, this is crappy. I had my restaurant experience was bad. The food was awful. It was cold. I had to send it back. Then the front desk was rude to me. I didn't get the room I wanted, and then the room wasn't even clean when I checked in. So that's three departments that are affected in that one conversation. So that's conversation I got to have with three different managers, okay, and hopefully take care of this situation before this guest gets, like Dylan said, gets in their car or gets on a plane and goes back to their home. And they have all this time to think about it and how they're going to deal with it, right? So, but if you can take care of it, if you let them be heard before they leave the property, then the blow on that guest survey that every major hotel they get as soon as they check out, they email it to you. Okay, so that's just how it is, right? But it'll be lessened if it's taken care of before they leave. Okay. So anyway, be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Be you, because can nobody else be you. Be you, right? And then be represented. Be represented is, like I said, for this show, for what I do, it's important that I'm represented. People that look like me are represented because, it's important that people know that they can, whatever you set yourself out to do, you can do, right? So don't let because, I look like this and he looks like that, so I'm not going to be able to do it. No. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Okay, there's always going to be some obstacles, I think, but we have to work through those obstacles, right? And but like I said, me being represented is important to me, so people can see that they can do a show like this, they can do a podcast like this. They can have a career like this in hospitality or wherever you want to have a career in. So don't get caught up on a lot of stuff, okay? Because we can always have excuses for not doing anything, okay? But be intentional, be you, be represented, because your representation, in my case, I'm taking it personal, my representation matters. So boom, there you go. Let's see. Anybody else said something else? Nope. No more comments. Hey, we welcome the comments. So this is On Air with Russell of Hotels. We welcome comments. I got Lonnie, Wolf, and Dylan. They're just owning the show at this point. They're making comments, going back and forth. They're probably calling each other like, "Hey, let's say this, let's say that." No, I'm joking. They're probably not, but they're right on today. They're right on. Lonnie says, Russell, our next live show will be lit. Guaranteed to be an eye-opener for the industry that is failing in cleanliness, safety, and presentation big time. Oh, my God. Okay, Lonnie, I see you. I see you. Okay, so let's get you we got to get you on the docket. Okay, that's on the schedule. We got to get Lonnie on the docket because I can tell Lonnie is he's in the zone right now. Okay, so he needs us to know what's going on and how we can change this stuff. Lonnie will never give you all the issues without letting you know how to resolve these issues. Okay, so that's one thing about Lonnie. So thank you so much, Lonnie. I appreciate that. And yeah, we'll get you on the show soon. You just let me know when you're available. You know when it is. Every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. You give me 4 weeks that I can choose from, and we'll go from there. Okay. How to buy a hotel. Now, Dylan and I were doing a live yesterday morning, and Miss Davon Reeves came on. We did a live on Instagram, and not that she came on, meaning she came on and she was talking, but on IG Lives, you can see who's there. Basically, you can see who's listening, who's watching, and Davon Reeves is one of the people that's watching. So that's great, right? So I basically told her, or told everybody that was on that live, basically about her book, right? How to buy a hotel, tips to buying a hotel, a roadmap to hotel ownership, and how important this is, how important what she does is for the hotel industry or for the community, business community, the people that are investing. That a lot of people didn't even know they could buy a hotel or how to buy a hotel. And to be quite honest, there's people out there that don't want everyone to know how to buy a hotel. I'm just throwing it out there, right? They don't want that. But this is the first comprehensive book I've ever seen on how to buy a hotel, a roadmap to ownership. When I mean it's a roadmap to ownership, I have the book right here. It's under something, so I'm not going to get it out right now. But I've already highlighted many things in there that, it's funny. I know how to manage a hotel. I can open a hotel, from when it was dirt to when we move things in and we open the hotel. I've done at least 3 openings, right? But as far as what happens, the ownership part, buying a hotel, how to get financed, how do you select this location? How do you select the brand? Okay, do I want to operate the hotel, or do I want to manage it, or have a management company come in? How do you do all that? Did you even know that you can have partners come in and do the same thing, right? You don't have to 100% own the hotel. You can own a portion of it. You can invest in hotel groups. You don't even have to, your name doesn't have to be anywhere. You can be an aggressive owner or a passive owner. It just depends, right? Do you want to be involved in the day-to-day operation, or do you just want to be, and I'm going to sit back, I want to be passive. Send me my check once a month, okay? That's how I want to get down, okay? So it's up to you, but who knew this stuff? Davon Reeves did. She figured it out, or she used to be an asset manager. So asset manager, basically she managed hotel assets for some owners. And so she asked a lot of questions. She did it for years. She figured it out, wrote a book, and here we are, right? And she owns 3 hotels now. And did I mention she was 35? Okay, she's 35. Okay, so there you go. So every week that I have an opportunity, I will mention this book, How to Buy a Hotel, a roadmap to hotel ownership. Tips to buying a hotel. Location. That's number 1. Where are you going to put this hotel? Is it near a traffic generator? What are traffic generators, you may ask? Is it near the highway? Is it easy accessible, right? Is it near, amusement parks or movie theaters or corporate offices? All that kind of stuff, because all that stuff matters. The brand, are you choosing a brand that no one knows about? Are you choosing, I know this new brand called the Russell Hotel. Well, have you ever heard of the Russell Hotel? Okay, well, and if you haven't heard of it, maybe, other people that are driving by may not have heard of it either. So you want to make sure it's a brand that people recognize, okay? And then hiring the right operator. Do you want to operate it yourself, or do you want, XYZ company to do it? I mean, there's a myriad of hotel operators out there that will manage your hotel, but not all. It's not one fits all, right? So there's just one called Synergy that does smaller brands and things like that, or smaller hotels, and they may be a good option, but then you got the big ones like Aimbridge and Sage Hospitality, and all these other Evolution, all these other management companies that are out there that maybe can do it as well. But you want to make sure that, if you're a first-time hotel owner, you need some hand-holding, okay? You don't want like a big company come in and just like, oh yeah, we'll send somebody there once a quarter. Well, maybe you need to meet once a month, Maybe you need to meet once a week to understand this thing. So you need a smaller company that maybe can help you, that can give you that what you need, right? Because this is your first time owning a hotel. And owning a hotel is not like owning an apartment or a duplex. Okay, totally different thing. You got to pay, bed tax every month or every quarter, right? A lot of hotel owners don't even know that because, well, I didn't do it owning my apartment complex. Well, this is not an apartment complex. This is different. Okay, so there you go. So I'm just dropping stuff, just information for you guys, and it's in the book. So check it out. But anyway, Dylan says Russell Dillon and I have a name for our hotel ownership: Bad Boy Hotels, BBH Hotels. You guys are too much. Okay, let's roll with it. That sounds good to me. BBH Hotels, Bad Boy Hotels. Did I mention that Dylan and Lonnie are two comedians too? They missed their calling. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Dylan and Lonnie need to take their show on the road. Okay, they're wasting their time with this whole hospitality thing. Okay, it's not working out for you guys. So you guys need to be comedians. Okay, so who's your best brand advocate? You are. You're your best brand advocate. I'm having some issues here. Let me see. I'm getting like my screen is not fading, but I'm just seeing if I can correct it. It's kind of fuzzy from what I see. Yeah, still. And I think it's because I mentioned it was warm here. It's all about the guests in hotel ownership. Yes, yes. It is. It's warm here, and I have my fan on. Right, you probably can't hear it. Hopefully, you cannot hear it. But it's the breeze from the fan is hitting my green screen. It's making, at least what I see is making the vision, is making it a little fuzzy, the screen a little fuzzy. That's what I'm doing. So for people on the air, people that are on the podcast, it doesn't affect you. It's just more the people that are watching me. So but that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to correct that. But anyway, who is your best advocate? You are your best advocate. Okay, so if you're not excited about what you do or your brand, no one else is going to be. That's why I post things. If you guys watch me or follow me on social media, I'm posting things. Is it all the time? It's probably 3 or 4 times a day, 2 or 3, 4 or 5, whatever. It just depends. I'm doing lives more. I'm doing more lives. I'm doing. I didn't do as many lives. I've done more lives in the last 2 weeks than I have in my whole lifetime of being on social media. Okay, because I think it's important. The posting is not enough, because what happens if the people don't see the post? What happens if people don't see the lives? What happens if people don't see the show? Right. So each one of them has a job to do, has a duty. One supports each other. Okay, that's how I look at it. Right. So if they don't see the show, maybe they'll see the lives. If they don't see the lives, maybe they see the posting. If they don't see the posting, maybe they see the reels. So it's all these things. It's all social media based, and it's like this circle. For me, I think it's a circle where you have to keep doing these things because everyone doesn't see everything that you do. Okay, so I have to make sure, and as a brand, somebody that's operating a brand or their own brand or whatever, you need to make sure that you're exposed to the right people, right? And sometimes you think you got it right and you don't. So you just have to constantly, you want to grow your community. That's first and foremost. But you want to make sure you feed your community too. And you're feeding them with information that they need, or that they want, or that they seek. Okay, so there's somebody that may have an interest in the hotel ownership. So I just hit that person right there. There's another person that doesn't even know that they are their best brand advocate, and they need to show more enthusiasm or more excitement, because that excites other people. If I'm not excited about what I do, no one else will be. Dylan and Lonnie would go on to somewhere else, right? So you want to make sure that you continue to resonate with your community, feed them, and then what I mean by feed them is basically giving them information that is pertinent to them and their lives, right? It's reaching them, okay? Something that they need or they want. So there you go. So you are your best brand advocate. So there you go. Why do I? Okay, increase social media engagement. I don't know. This keep throwing me off every now and then. How do you increase social media engagement? One is consistency. So if you're going to do lives, make sure you do them consistent. I do them 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So I'm being consistent. I do this show every Tuesday, 1 o'clock PST, live on YouTube. That's consistency. I do reels 2 to 3 times a day. That's consistency. So make sure you stay consistent with what's going on. What are you doing? People need to know. They need to see who you are, see what you do, hear about what you do, right? So consistency is the key. So that's one thing. Number two, value. Make sure you're adding value to whatever you're posting, whatever you're saying. Hopefully, like I said, the talking about hotel ownership or maybe even this topic, increasing social media engagement. That's of value to someone. Maybe they didn't know that. So you just got to make sure. And if one thing I always say, if let's just say I do this show and no one's making comments, no one likes anything that I do, well, that means I'm doing something wrong, right? So I got to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, I'm doing something wrong and I need to continue. I need to try some new things, right? Last week I posted something. I post things all the time. So, and if I don't get like, 200 or 300 people that like it or make comments on it, I think it's a bad post, right? So I'll go back to the drawing board and say, hey, well, let me look at one that I got a lot of views on it, 300, 500, 600,000, whatever. And let me see what I did on that. Is it the time of day? Is it what I posted? Was it the picture? Was it the video versus the picture? And then after that, got that 200, I posted, I was at LAX. As I do my walking and talking with Russell of Hotels. I'm not sure if you guys see that, but I took a video of a plane coming in. It was a Korean airline coming in from Korea, I guess. I don't know, 747. They don't even make 747s anymore. I mean, huge plane, right? And it was right next to, where I was walking, right? So I posted that video. It was like a, I don't know, 10-second video. And the caption said, and I just happened to hear this. I just happened to read this somewhere else. International travel is up 100% versus last year. That's what I posted on the caption. Korean Airlines, international airline, coming into LAX, 747, which means it's full, it's huge, it's big, probably, I don't know, 400 people on the plane. International travel has increased to the U.S. by 100% over last year. Boom. 4,500 views in about 15 minutes. So that's what they call going viral, right? So you got to look at your stats, and because people say, well, going viral should be like 1 million or whatever. No, it depends on what you've done. It depends on you and your engagement, okay? You look at your engagement, and there's insights on, like, say, Instagram. So look at where your profile is in the middle of the screen. It says insights. Click on that insight button, and it will give you all the metrics for, all your postings, which postings did the most, and how many views or how much engagement you had with that, right? Because people don't even know. They're just posting things. They don't know if they're getting a lot of engagement or not. But it tells you the numbers. And like they say, the numbers don't lie. So what that told me is that I need to do more videos of planes coming in. I guess that's what that's telling me. It's telling me something. So, I can't do all my reels cannot be all, Korean Airlines coming in, but maybe some other airlines, maybe, I don't know. There's some things that I got to duplicate on that just to see if that stuff's going to work. It wasn't music either. Because a lot of times people will pair their reels with music. It was real sound. It was the real sound of the plane coming in, right? With the afterburners and all that stuff going, you can hear the plane coming in and the reverse and all that kind of stuff. You can hear all that, right? So there was no music being played. So it's actual sound. So that plays a big thing in it as well because it's more realistic, right? I mean, Russell's actually there at that airport. Yeah, and I was. I mean, I zoomed in on the plane coming in. That plays a lot in it too, right? So a lot of those things play. So what it's telling me is that yeah, I need to do more videos like that. The caption may have been attractive to people because when Instagram sees this, it puts it out based on based on what they see, instantly, based on some algorithms that basically what they see, and then it's just going to be out there. Another fun and informative show, Russell. Great job. I'll be in touch with you with the dates for our next lit show. Sounds good, Lonnie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening and watching the show. Enjoy the rest of your day. So just try to look, at your previous content and see what worked. Okay, look at what's my top reel that I did. Like I said, the last week was 4,600 or something like that. So I look at that one and see exactly what I did and try to duplicate some of the things that I did. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but you have to try. You have to know you have to look at your metrics and see everything, right? So any questions about that, just hit me up and I'm here to help. So consistency, value, and be authentic. Be you. Don't try to be someone else. If you're normally, a jokester or a prankster, or you laugh a lot, or you try to sing, continue to do that stuff, okay? Don't try to be somebody else. I'm not trying to be some other people that do podcasts and hospitality talk shows, whatever. I'm just trying to be Russell of hotels. That's all I'm trying to be. And I think that's enough. That's a full-time job right there, okay? And a lot of people will say, yeah, that's a hell of a full-time job. Yeah. You should be exhausted every day trying to be me, okay? So just be you, be authentic, right? So there you go. And then once you know that consistency, value, and be authentic, what are the tools that you can use? And I mentioned them already. Using IG Reels and Lives. Do lives. Lives will, like I said, it supports my show. The show supports the Reels. The Reels support the postings, and it just continues to go, and go. So just make sure you use that. Those are tools. YouTube also has, it's called YouTube Shorts, which are similar to doing IG Reels, and just what are similar to doing TikTok. Okay, so those are the three things that is pretty much the same. Lives, you can do lives on YouTube, you can do lives on IG, you can do lives on Facebook. So it just depends. You can also do lives on LinkedIn. You just have to have approval to do it from LinkedIn. Who's hiring? Did I do this? Who's hiring? Somebody's hiring. I haven't even opened up, and there's something. I haven't even opened up my my iPad. Okay, Ace Hotels. Ace Hotels, downtown LA. They're looking for a assistant director of sales. MCR Hotels. I'm not even sure who they are, but they are looking for task force director of sales. And these jobs are all on Indeed.com. Indeed.com. Courtyard Marriott, Baldwin Park, looking for a director of sales. And the Courtyard Marriott, Woodland Hills, which this position has been open like 2 or 3 times this year. That tells you something right there. There's something going on there. But anyway, they're looking for the Courtyard Marriott and Woodland Hills are looking for a director of sales as well. Non-meat eats. I'm trying to think. I didn't go anywhere last week. I ate here. We cooked over the weekend, like Beyond Burgers and stuff like that. Beyond hot dogs, Beyond sausage. I'm beyond. So today is Taco Tuesday. So mushrooms today, mushroom tacos, and they're a mixture of 3 mushrooms: shiitakes, oyster, and king mushrooms, or they also go by trumpet mushrooms. So I got 3 of them. Check out my live from earlier today on Instagram, and I actually showed them what they look like, just in case you're in the store like, oh, those are mushrooms Russell Hotels was talking about. There you go. But I'm all about the non-meat eats. You guys know that, right? Let's see, what else? I already did this. I did that. Who's hiring? I did that too. What do? I'm a hotel personality, which means my personality. I come on. I talk about hospitality things, but I have the experience, right, to talk about it. I'm not just someone here to just spewing out information thinking I know what I'm talking about. No, I'm a hospitality personality that actually has experience in the hospitality space. So I'm a brand show off, meaning I'm a content creator for hospitality brands. I teach them how to show off their brand, right? Or I do it for them on their behalf. Show off their brand, make sure they're stay relevant, they're top of mind, because you don't want people to forget about your brand, okay? Especially if you're a hotel that's, trying to make a name for yourself, trying to, get a foothold in your market, okay? Every hotel has a market, every hotel has competition, and every competitor is not doing what they should be doing on social media. So if you see that, that's a flaw, right? So I want to make sure I catapult my social media game well above this hotel that doesn't even know what social media is, okay? You're ahead of the game at that point, right? So I help you show off your brand. I'm the brand that shows off your brand. I like that, right? Yeah, I like that. Hotels, tourism, and non-meat. Those are three things that I always talk about. There may be some one-offs, but everything I talk about on my postings, it has to do with one of those three things: hotels, tourism, and non-meat. Hotel site selection. I mentioned that earlier with the situation we had in Detroit with one of my clients. I help my clients, companies, organizations with finding hotel sites. I'm just reading. In fact, the same client just texted me, said she needs another room in Miami. Okay, all right. So I got to take care of that because the next group is going to Miami in a couple of weeks. So we're going to have, let's say, 25 rooms for 2 nights there. And then from there, they're going to Italy. And from Italy, they're going to Greece on a cruise. So then they got to come back. There's got to be hotel rooms for that, right? So I do all that stuff. So hotel site selection. That was right on key, too. Thank you, Ms. Summers. What else? I'm a show producer. I'm not only the host of this show, but I produce the show. These things on the side, these were distinctions or recognition given by the International Hospitality Institute, 100 most powerful people in hospitality for 2022, top 30 podcasts in hospitality for 2021, and top 25 social media influencers for top 21. Russell of Hotels. There you go. And I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate any kind of recognition you get. I mean, you need to thank people, and because I don't take it for granted. I don't go out doing this to get these accolades and all that, but it's nice to know that people recognize the work that you put in. So thank you so much again, International Hospitality Institute. Contact information: how do you get a hold of me? RussellofHotels.com is the best way. That's my email. You can follow me, please, on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Russell of Hotels. On LinkedIn, it's Russell L. Edmond. I do have 2 LinkedIn pages. So please follow me, and make sure if you watch me, or if you're watching on YouTube, you click that subscribe button. I appreciate it. One thing to ask yourself, I always mention this: what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? If you're not doing anything, call me and I'll tell you what you should be doing, okay? And I'll do it for you, all right? So what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? Those are questions you should always ask yourself. If you're in charge of a brand, you should know what you're doing to keep it relevant. And if you're not doing anything, shame on you, but that's okay. It's not all lost. Give me a call and we'll go through it, okay? What you should be doing or what you could be doing. And there's a quote: in creating content, don't worry where other people have been. Just start where you are. And these are quotes that came from me, right? Okay, just so you know, I didn't get this out of a book. It wasn't on the internet. This is something that I came up with. So what does that mean? Well, creating content is one thing. So I guess it's kind of 2 things. Because you see people that post things, they're like in these exotic locations. They're posting, oh, I'm here, I'm sipping this, I'm on the beach here in Bora Bora or whatever. Okay, that's fine for them. But start where you are. If you want to start posting things about where you've been, start where you are. Don't get caught up on where they are or what they've done. Those people over there. Who cares? If you You're at Hollywood. You're at the Walk of Fame. That's where you are. Start posting there. That's okay. People get caught up in, oh, well, they're doing that, and what they're doing is better than what I'm doing. No, 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 no. If you're into posting, if this is what you want to do, don't get caught up with what other people are doing. Okay, you just start from day one, wherever you are in your posting, career. Then that's where you start. Your content creating career. This is what you want to do for your brand or for someone else's brand. Start where you are. Don't worry about the journey someone else is taking. Okay, worry about your journey and where you started. Okay, so I'll read it one more time. In creating content, don't worry where other people have been. Just start where you are. Boom. 3 P's, and we're about to end this show. Purpose, passion, and perseverance. Always make sure you have purpose. Why are you doing what you do? Why does Russell do this show? Right? I mean, there's a reason why I do the show. What is that reason? I always want to know. What's the reason why I do the show? I do the show because I want people to come on and talk about their careers. No two people started this career the same. Maybe I came through the front door, but some people came through the side door. Some people came through the back door. Whatever. There's no two people that came in this career choice, this hospitality career. No two people came in alike. Okay, none. I don't care who it is. None of them. Me and Dylan didn't come in the same way. Me and Lonnie didn't come in the same way. Dylan and Lonnie didn't come in the same way. So we all had our own reasons for coming in here. And like I said, the purpose of the show is to highlight that, to highlight the hospitality industry, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? I highlight a lot of good. I very seldom have a lot of ugly, right? But when it does come up, when the ugly does rear its ugly head, I do talk about it, just like the issue that I mentioned earlier with my client in their hotel, in their destination, right? Hotel was whack. Okay, I have to tell people about that because it's not all peaches and cream when it comes to stuff, right? And this basically, how do you deal with that stuff? So my purpose is to highlight some of those things that happen, highlight the people, behind the scenes, people that you may not even known about, or that their career was this or was that, where they started and all that stuff. So basically, that's it. That's the purpose of why I do On Air with Russell of Hotels. Also, please, I'm sorry, I'm reading another comment from my client. Passion. Either you have it or you don't. If you don't have passion for what you do something else. Perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up and swerve when you need to. We all know that we swerve here. We don't pivot. There's a big difference between pivot and swerving, okay? Everybody pivots, right? Everybody in the whole world has been pivoting since, we got to pivot. No. I never pivoted. I've always swerved, okay? There's a big difference. I'll let you know what it is next week, okay? So anyway, that is the end of the show. I want to thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. This was show number 174, and I want to thank Lonnie and Dylan for their comments. We're going to get Lonnie back on the show because he has some information. He's our housekeeping expert, so he knows everything that has to do with housekeeping, SOPs, and what we're doing. We're missing the boat, but how we can rectify the situation, okay? So, but that's it for now. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys joining me. You guys have a great day, great week. It's Taco Tuesday, right? I'm doing 3 mushroom tacos.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.